could come pick you up to save your life.
And a lot of families who are generationally poor, no, there's not. That was the same problem in New Orleans. Like,
yeah,
they're just families who have lived there for generations who just, they're being systematically oppressed. Right. And so what are they going to do?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But there were a lot of people that I was watching when I was watching the news that were just there because they either didn't believe that something was going to happen, or they thought that there was actually people in this bar. They were talking to the Weather Channel saying, don't believe the Weather Channel. They were telling the Weather Channel as they were interviewing her to not believe the Weather Channel as the hurricane is hitting them.
Yeah.
Now, there was this really funny video of this person like being blown around by the wind and trying to like super dramatic, trying to hold on. Like, oh, you can see the wind is really hitting.
Oh, and I'm sorry, is the wind your grinder name?
Jesus. Well, yeah. Anyway, there were these two kids, two guys.
Yeah, who just kind of walk, right?
Just walking by.
It's like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's problem is.
They were in shorts and like a rain jacket, and they were just casually walking, and this one person is like overacting.
Yeah. It's like, buddy, just stand up, you'll be fine.
It's just so stupid sometimes to get views. You should be fucking getting people worried just to make a buck.
Well,
like,
and the problem is that they were expecting it to be a lot bigger.
Right.
Which I've heard Donald Trump's girlfriends have had the same issue.
You know what? I can't even make fun of Trump because I've heard that personally. Michael Jordan is donating $2 million.
Yeah, but they were talking about your bank account.
So true. Patreon.com/dumbleloadpod. Michael Jordan is, the basketball player.
Yes, I'm aware of the basketball player, Michael Jordan.
Either tennis or basketball, one of those two. Yeah. He's donating $2 million of his billions, because he's a billionaire, $2 million to hurricane relief, so he doesn't really care about the state that he lives in. That's funny. I mean, the equivalent of that is like me donating $14. It's like you have billions of dollars and you just gave $2 million. Like,
excuse me, we need $27. Not 14. That's not enough.
Listen, Bernie, you realize that half the people who support you don't have $27.
$27. That's all I'm asking.
Apparently, the flooding is far from over. All the extra water, and I guess there's even more rain in the forecast, which is even bizarre.
Fake news. The Democrats are flooding in water to make me look bad.
This might be the saddest. Tobacco crops have been destroyed.
Oh, so sad.
I know. Yeah, so sad. Moving on. Yeah. Wastewater has been flowing into North Carolina's rivers. It's not good.
No, not
good. But still better than Flint's water.
True.
FEMA arrived eventually.
What was the name of that place again? I've never heard of Flint. What is happening in Flint?
Nothing, apparently. Nothing.
Oh, good.
Right, Hannah? Nothing's going on.
I'm very comfortable then. Very good.
Let's see. I guess that's enough for that. But it's still going on. There were a couple tornadoes just to add to the pain and misery. It's definitely bad, but I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
it does show a few things, though. One, we as a people have to start paying attention to these areas. Like, they were not fully prepared for a hurricane. And if
it's almost like we as a people have to start paying attention to the climate.
Well, yeah, we can do that, but that's regardless. That's not going to change overnight.
No,
so
but
you can pay attention to it.
These areas would have been ready for the strength of hurricanes from, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Sure.
But now, not so much.
Not so much, no. Yeah, not so much. And apparently, one of the controversies is North Carolina's school systems are actually still having school despite flooding.
It's North Carolina. Whether they have school or not that big a difference.
No, that's very true.
I heard they took Crooked Hillary out of their curriculum. I applaud them.
They did.
Actually, that was in Texas.
Great.
And then the weird one was Helen Keller. Like, they kicked out Hillary Clinton and Helen Keller. It's like, why Helen Keller? Are we going to get to the Brett Kavanaugh stuff? Okay, I'll wait till then.
Okay, that's actually coming up next. But if you're listening to the show and you were affected by the hurricane, I hope everything works out for the best. If you can, try to get away from the flooding until it goes away. If not, I don't know. Just hopefully you're nice and safe.
And don't forget to do your homework.
And don't forget, I don't think we have that many children listening to our show.
No?
We're not Catholics.
No.
Moving on.
Oh, no.
So Austin just alluded to this story in particular.
Not Paul Manafort.
Not Paul Manafort. Why would we talk about him? He's next in line.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the intro, please, because it's not correct. Brett Kavanaugh is in the news, and it's because he's, going through his nomination, right?
Nomination for the greatest job on earth. Whatever he's nominated for.
but that's why he's in the news, right? It's solely because he's going. The nomination started. The voting has begun. Correct, right? Yeah.
Well, I think some of it might have to do with the fact that he tried to rape somebody in high school.
Oh, that happened.
Apparently.
Well, so he's running for Congress now.
No,
he's not. Well, he should be, because that would get you a fucking win.
No, much easier. All he needs is Congress's approval to be appointed to the Supreme Court.
True. And he'll probably still get it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This comes from the HuffPo. Brett Kavanaugh, accused of attempting to sexually assault a woman in high school. This is a fucked up story, dude.
Yes, it is,
a fucked up story. A woman is accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh for attempting to sexually assault her by locking her in a room and forcing himself on her at a party while they were both in high school. Kavanaugh, in a statement to the New Yorker, which broke the details of the encounter, denied the claim. Here's his actual statement. He's part of it. The allegation dates back to the early 1980s when Kavanaugh was a high school student. This is from the New Yorker. When he was a high school student at Georgetown Prep School in Bethesda, Maryland, and the woman attended a nearby high school. In the letter, the woman alleged that during an encounter at a party, Kavanaugh held her down and that he attempted to force himself on her. She claimed in a letter that Kavanaugh and a classmate of his, both of whom had been drinking, turned up music that was playing in the room to conceal the sounds of her protests, and that Kavanaugh covered her mouth with his hand. She was able to free herself. Although the alleged incident took place decades ago and the three individuals involved were minors, the woman said that the memory has been a source of ongoing distress for her, and she has sought physical or psychological treatment as a result. If this story is true, and I have no problem believing that it is, that is fucked up.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah.
Now, I guess from that statement, she was not actually raped. There was no sexual acts, I guess.
Well, it sounds like she was able to free herself before something worse happened.
That could happen. But she was probably about to be raped.
Yeah, she was. Absolutely, she was about to be raped.
And I don't think God would have spoken to him right away and said, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't be raping this girl."
I've read the Bible. God's pretty comfortable with rape.
You know what? That's so sad, but I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
I think you're right.
Go look up the story of Lot and his daughters. Just saying.
I don't want to. CNN also reported that Kavanaugh allegedly tried to remove the woman's clothes and that she later sought medical treatment. Both men were drunk, she said, and Kavanaugh attempted to remove her clothes. At one point, Kavanaugh was on top of her, laughing as the other male in the room periodically jumped onto Kavanaugh.
What the fuck is going on over there?
Never mind. Kavanaugh held his hand over her mouth at one point, and she said she felt like her life was inadvertently in danger. So she actually felt like he would kill her.
Yeah, because if somebody puts their hand over your mouth, especially if it covers your nose, you can't breathe. What are you going to do?
This might be a bold statement, Austin, but I was thinking about this quite a bit because this is a fucked up story, obviously. Yeah. To have the awareness to turn the music up so that people wouldn't hear almost makes me wonder if this wasn't his first time doing something like this.
And it makes you wonder how drunk he really was, because that is a very... it's very thought out.
Yeah, you have to be there. You have to be there to think of that. Because I've been drunk many a time, and I barely remember to I don't even know how to stand up when I'm drunk. I really don't. I'm on the floor. I'm that guy who's on the fucking floor because I just can't stand.
Well, I know this whole thing just tells me that he seems to be perfect Supreme Court material.
No, perfect presidential material. More like
well,
it.
Luckily, Orrin Hatch was there to say that I think she's just confused.
Yeah,
and maybe her little lady brain just can't handle all the big facts that are coming around. And Orrin Hatch is probably like 1,400 years old or however old he is.
Jesus.
Like, are these guys seriously still in the Senate? These people who would say something like that?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. She's confused. No, she was almost raped. That's what. She's not confused.
I mean, I would still say that she was raped. I still think this is rape, regardless of the fact that there was no sexual acts. I still think she was raped.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. And so it's like, no, she's not confused.
It's crazy.
You're just an asshole.
By the way, her name, the woman who's accusing Kavanaugh of this, is Christine Blasey Ford. And this is, surprisingly, it's moved forward. Now, I say surprisingly because I fully expected this to just get brushed to the side and that the Senate would just have their confirmation hearings, which I think they were originally supposed to start yesterday.
Tomorrow.
If I'm not mistaken.
They're supposed to start on Thursday.
They're supposed to start on Thursday. Yeah. Okay. So yesterday. Yeah, I was right, yesterday.
But yeah, I thought for sure that
the episode was released.
I thought for sure that all of the documents and stuff would be taken and hidden under Mitch McConnell's turtle shell.
Yeah. But I guess what ends up happening is you found a way to piss off a few of the Republicans who have maybe a little decency in them. And they have delayed the confirmation hearings. And now they're calling people to come testify. And this could be a big thing.
Oh,
shockingly.
Not could be. It is. Because all of a sudden, a nomination that looked like a sure thing is now in serious doubt.
Sure. And let me finish. Sure.
And if it is in doubt, and he doesn't get nominated, Trump cannot get another one through before the midterms. There's just not enough time. There's not.
Yeah.
Because there's procedures they have to go through, and there's just not enough time.
I mean, this could last long enough where that might even be the case anyway.
Yeah. So, people, please go vote. Please go vote.
And with the news that certain Republicans who had a safe seat in the Senate are now losing their polls, or at least they're behind in their polls, it almost makes you think that if we have a huge turnout of Democratic voters, I'm just saying the chances are still there, Austin. I know you're not a firm believer that the Democrats can take over the Senate, but there's a chance that they can. And if they do...
Well, I've gone from, pessimistic to cautiously pessimistic.
Sure, and that's an improvement.
Yeah.
I'm still in the same level. I'm not sure, but it looks like it could happen.
Yeah.
But, man, voting is so important right now. It's so important.
And then after you do, join us on Twitch.
There you go. Yeah. We'll be live on twitch.tv/Double Over Podcast on November 6th, 2018 to cover the midterms all night long. Ooh.
All right. All right, so enough of that story. Let's move on.
Yep. So the next story I have for us is about Paul Manafort.
Okay.
And why he's back in the news yet again. Austin, Trump is not having a good week.
Nonsense. Every week that I'm not impeached is a good week.
You know what? I guess that's true. But Paul Manafort was in court again, and this time it was to accept the plea deal of
excuse me.
Mueller.
He's doing what now?
Yes, Robert Mueller gave him a plea deal, and Paul Manafort pled guilty and accepted that plea deal. He has flipped on Donald Trump.
Oh, fuck me.
As part of the plea deal, the 10 charges that were deemed as a mistrial are gone. They're wiped from history. He will not be charged, and they won't even bring those to court. And then on top of that, apparently from reports, Paul Manafort has been discussing